In this video, I will share with you a great strategy for building an arpeggio playing technique, which I have been able to develop recently thanks to my many-year interest in piano playing efficiency strategies and teaching students of all ages and levels. When experienced professional pianists play arpeggios, they do very similar motions because, and this is an important point for today's video, because arpeggio playing is basically a combination of a few basic motions, which then blend into one motion later. But what I have understood learning about different approaches to piano playing technique and observing different pianists is that every fine pianist uses their own proportion of these universal motions. So in this video, I will suggest you learn a strategy which will help you to dissect these motions, master each of them separately, and help you to develop a way of playing arpeggios which will be most comfortable for you. If you want to significantly improve your piano playing skills, get rid of tension and pain, improve dexterity and ability to practice efficiently, check out my courses dedicated to a healthy and efficient piano technique. In addition to my universal bestseller courses on Haydn and Brahms exercises, I have just released a detailed course on the most vibrant etudes by Carl Czerny from Opus 299, which will help you to build a more solid foundation before approaching advanced pieces such as Chopin or Rachmaninoff etudes. Buy this course within the first week starting today and get a reduced 50% price. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to use a valse of Frédéric Chopin in A minor, which of course many of you have heard and many of you have played. So it sounds like... So here we have this beautiful arpeggio passage, which of course gives hard time to many learners. And of course you can apply these principles and this technique for any possible arpeggios which you encounter in piano literature. And I have even an older video about arpeggio technique, about arpeggio exercise, which is used in professional training of pianists, so you can check that out as well. So before we even start with the training, there is one important thing to remember always, that when we play arpeggios, especially in a faster tempo, and especially when we have like a larger interval, like a fourth between positions, so we play 1, 2, 3, and then have a fourth between 3 and 1. You see, this is a wide interval. We never connect positions. We just fly them over, yeah? So there is no physical connection between positions. We don't play like this, yeah, because this causes that horrible elbow motion which makes you sound clumsy and sets a very serious speed and smoothness limit. So what we do, we just fly them over these positions. We don't connect them physically. Even when we have a smaller interval, we nevertheless quite often, like for example in this one, we can connect it in a slower tempo if you have a good plasticity in the hand. But when you get faster, there's still no connection. You just release the finger, get into the next position. So this is just an important disclaimer before we start. And now let's start mastering this passage in steps. So at first, we're going to do a preparatory exercise, which will help you to get used and get comfortable with the idea that we don't connect positions, because this is kind of a psychological barrier which many learners have. Of course, we want to provide smoothness in our playing, so we start connecting positions. So we are going to get rid of that habit by learning this passage with the first method. So when you play these arpeggios, you focus on a comfortable weight transfer from finger to finger, making sure that you instantly release all the fingers that are done and that you focus the tip of each finger, like nail joint and metacarpal joints are focused, yeah? And our wrist is, of course, at the level with the keys. But when you play the last note of this position, this B, you just release the finger and raise the forearm like that. And make sure that the fingers are completely relaxed. Do that in a tempo in which you can focus on that sensation. And then you just imagine that somebody replaces your hand toward the next position. You can help yourself with the left hand as well. And then dive properly in the thumb. Make sure that your wrist returns to the level with the keys, which will help you to support the thumb. And the thumb is, of course, also focused at the nail joint. So the thumb is never straight, it's never like that, but it's gently curved in the nail joint. and the wrist is at the level with the key. So you feel a comfortable pulling sensation for the thumb like that. But you don't connect these positions, and you just fly over, focusing on a sensation of relaxation between positions, and then equally supporting each finger like that. So again, we are not playing arpeggios like that. We are not doing vertical motions with the forearm when we play arpeggios. This is just a preparatory, very important preparatory step in order to make sure that you disconnect fingers, release them at the end of each position, and to make sure that you're not afraid to disconnect positions. So you practice like that first enough times, making sure that you start releasing the finger and moving the forearm right after you have reached the bottom of that third finger key, which you play with the third finger. So here, very smooth but quick motion, relaxation and quick motion, like that. Like that. So you play enough times like that in order to reach smoothness, playing this passage like that, in, let's say, medium tempo, something like that. You can move it even further, for example, till that tempo. As soon as you reach smoothness of playing with this method, you move to the next one. In the next one, we are not going to use any vertical motions. We are going to work on rotational elements, on a forearm rotation. So we still play 1, 2, 3, supporting each finger, but as soon as you hit 3, imagine that you want to play a glissando afterwards. That, and I actually suggest you to play a few times like that. So you reach the third finger and then you rotate the hand and you play glissando. So just to get the idea of the motion. And then we do the same motion, but we don't do glissando, obviously. So we just rotate the hand 90 degrees and move your forearm like that. And as soon as you feel that you have arrived to the next position, you rotate your hand back counterclockwise. And we really exaggerate each of these motions, pushing them to the extreme, let's say, in order to implement each of them fully. So you reach, let's say, a smooth middle tempo, making sure that you over-rotate your hand like that. But you see that your hand stays close, so I basically slide at the surface of the keys with my fingers. So we don't do the vertical motion anymore. So make sure that you can implement that motion properly and feel yourself quite secure, being able to play this passage smoothly, let's say in this tempo. In order to avoid harsh accents on the thumb, you just also support the fingers 2 and 3. So you play this arpeggio first on a very well embodied mezzo forte in order to make sure that you support our fingers like that. As soon as you feel comfortable with this, we move to the next motion, which is opening the elbow like that. So you push your elbow, you open your arm, which creates this kind of angle towards the keyboard. So your fingers are not aligned to the keys when you do that. And you do that when you approach the third finger, you already do that between fingers 2 and 3. So that motion allows you to approach the next key like this. So again, release the fingers, you just release the third finger quicker, opening the elbow and leaning on the next key properly. And when you lean on the thumb, you open the hand palm back, yeah? Like that. So we don't do rotation, we don't do vertical motions, we just do elbow opening. And as soon as you hit the thumb, boom, you open the hand palm again, which helps you to approach the next position with fingers 2 and 3. So make sure that you can play these arpeggios in a medium, fast tempo, just using this method. Each method helps you to focus on one thing at a time and make sure that you can reach smoothness in a medium or moderately fast tempo using each of them. Vertical motions, then rotational motions, and then staying horizontal but opening your elbow and adjusting your hand positions after the thumb. So these were 3 basic ways to learn these arpeggios, and before we get to the fourth one, forget everything we have been just doing. So just forget everything you did. And the next learning way, we are going just to play the first group, the first position, then release the third finger and land on the first and the second finger of the next group. So you land at a third, like that. But you don't think anymore how exactly you move between positions. You just solely release the third finger faster. And then make sure that you hit right the bottom of these keys, and you should feel a well-supported sensation here, because since we are disconnecting positions, we lose the contact with the keyboard. And this is exactly what many learners are afraid to do. They are afraid to leave the keys, to lose that attachment to the keys. So in order to regain that control, we have to be sure that we land properly at the next position using these fingers, like 1, 2, as anchors and as fingers where we really feel supported, grounded, feeling the bottom of the keys, making sure that we hang on these keys properly, focusing tips of the fingers. Yeah, so this is a very important, let's say, polishing stage for your arpeggio technique. And you go through the passage like that, just focusing on an instant relaxation. Release. While you fly over, your hands should be absolutely relaxed. Release, land, like that. I suggest you to learn your arpeggio passages using this method a few days in a row, let's say 4 or 5 days, then make a break for a few days, so your body kind of like forgets the sensation a bit, and then return to this method, learning your passages like this another few days. And I'm sure that you will feel a decent improvement. If you want to learn more efficiency tips, check out my courses. Please check out my playlist dedicated to piano tutorials on YouTube, which contains a lot of videos. And of course, you can always approach me about online lessons following the link in the description. Have fun playing piano and see you next time.